Do you hear that? Kerry's not here. She is out on location today. And so I pretty much have to do this show by my own self. But that's okay. I've done it before. I can do it again. We're going to talk about hobbies today. And I'm really excited about that. We've got a lot to cover.
Hi everyone, Tim Kitzer from NBA Jam and NFL Blitz, welcoming you to The Backpack Show. Your hosts, Chris Brogan, Kerry Gargone, Boom Shakalaka.
Backpack Show. I wanted to talk about hobbies today. I wanted to talk about hobbies because I have gotten back into photography as one of the hobbies that I am interested in. Hi, Becky. Hi, Mom. And I have over many years dabbled with photography. And one of the people that got me into photography early on was my mom because she was super fun and exciting about that sort of thing. And one of the things that I like about the process was that it it puts you in a different mindset, and it's different when we use our cell phones. I don't exactly know why it's different when we use our cell phones, but I can tell you that the act of grabbing a camera and slowing down and having less access to the uh, other stuff that shows up when you're on your phone has really changed how I've been interacting with the world lately. The other part of that is that when I use a camera, well, one of the things I've been telling people is that I treat this kind of like Pokemon Go. I run out onto the world because having a camera, you can only shoot so many things in your own house, right? And so what I've been doing is I've been using it as an excuse to get outside, an excuse to sometimes interact with people, and it's been a way for me to force myself outdoors when I don't necessarily. It's not my default to do that. I'm a hermit by nature, so that's why I've taken to getting involved a little bit more in photography. And along the way, I've been noticing that there's these other parts of it too. Like for instance, I've noticed that I like the learning the technology. I like the art of trying to line something up and the rule of thirds and like where to put the horizon line. What I really love is I love interacting with people. I get such a real kick out of going out onto photo walks and doing some efforts where I communicate up with people and appreciate them for who they are. And I love talking to people and interacting. I'll give you an example of that. I'm going to share from my most recent photo walk, which I did in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Hey, and I'm so happy with this. I'm happy because a few things happen. One is I got to make somebody else feel good. Two is I got to have an interaction, which helps me practice having interactions like that. And three, I just really like the idea that, you know, I can bring other parts of the world to other people. So I'm going to show you just a tiny bite of my photo walk in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and running into a very specific person. And Dad, have Mom take a look because I think she'll appreciate this lady's style as much as I did. So here we go. See, so it was a lot of fun for me. What a wonderful person. Oh, you guys don't see the video? Oh, I blew it. So you just saw me sitting there looking at myself. All right. I blew it. All right, hang on. I'm going to back this up. Well, that's no good. StreamYard, present, share screen, share this screen, also share audio. Do. Oh, because I have to now add it to the stage. Thanks, StreamYard. All right, here we go. Sons of biscuits. Good morning. May I take a photo of you? You look so beautiful with your pink hair.
Thank you.
May I please? Oh, you look lovely. You're gonna win best dressed today.
Thank you.
Where did you even get those?
I got these. These were given to me.
Really?
Yeah.
By someone who knows your style, evidently.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Thank you.
I love everything about your outfit
Thank
today.
you.
Wasn't that fun? Sorry I didn't somehow share it the first time. I thought I had it set up, but what do I know? It's my first day here, and I've never used this platform before ever, which is why we're sponsored by StreamYard. You can make your own show, and you might not even make the mistake I just made. So there you go. StreamYard is super easy to use. I can run the whole show by myself while talking with you, interacting. It's so fun, and I'm really grateful that they are our ongoing sponsor. So that's my hobby. One of my hobbies is taking photos just so I can interact with people and connect up and see what's going on with people. For instance, my one of my favorite lawyers, Mitch Jackson, I can relate with the GoPro running walking effort. It motivates me to get out and then try new things. Yeah, so when you get out there, you get a much better opportunity to it's just a way to force yourself. It's a way to get yourself out there into the universe. I'm curious, especially because I have so many people here live with me at the same time. What are some of your hobbies? What are you into? Do you collect something? Do you do some particular kind of art? What are you doing that lets you expand a little beyond what you're normally working on? By the way, another thing that I've been enjoying with photography, behind me is a documentary playing. It's featuring this guy Gary Winogrand, who's since passed. And one of the things that I really love about his work, he's one of the early street photographers. Although he did a lot to say that he was not a street photographer, and I understand his reasoning, but we don't have to talk about it. Street photography in general is trying to make a bit of a story out of a scene that you see on the street. It doesn't necessarily have to be the real story of what's really going on. It's not like photojournalism, but what's interesting is uh, you can tell stories with this technology and bring it to people by way of what you capture. Annette says, rose-colored glasses, how lovely. Made our day and hers. Yeah, she was lovely. Hi, Michael. Good to see you. Becky has done photography for a million years and is great at it. I've always loved Becky's work. She's miles ahead of me in that hard work. Also now gardening. I'm curious to know what goes in your garden. Tamara does hiking, yoga, collecting sand on beaches that I travel to. Oh, so you've got those like little maybe ball jars of sand. That's really cool. I have a beach about 15 minutes from my house, so I do not collect. Um, and that says, who knew that sketch journaling would be such a connection point? And how many people say, I love that, which is very true. You sent me a nice one today. I really love the birds in the background too, and that was nice to see it. LinkedIn user who didn't say yes to the StreamYard request. Art, music, electronics, maker type activities. I love that so much. I think it's really cool when you can connect in and do all kinds of artsy, fun things like that. It's I have some equipment to do that as well, to do some making. I use GarageBand, which is free or cheap on Mac, and I bought myself a little bitty MIDI keyboard that I can play into and have gazillions of effects. So that becomes fun of it too, is you can edit things, manipulate things, change things, kind of go a little bit beyond your realms if you want. Michael is into drawing, writing, and filmmaking. Yes, Michael has some pretty good film projects in his past, and I'm sure some new ones coming in the future as well. So it's fun. I think that hobbies keep us alive. I think that it's important to um, find ways to really sink ourselves, immerse ourselves in stuff that isn't necessarily our primary role. Troy has one. I was hoping Troy was going to talk about this because it's one of the things he's most known about. Collecting autographs through the mail and posting them to YouTube. I also enjoy video editing and production, so it's a win-win. I want to learn more about my camera at some point too. Well, joining us from a remote location on stage right now, Kerry and Chloe. Hi, you two.
Hi. We're going upstairs.
You're going upstairs. Well, this is going to be an exciting video. So,
Somebody
how
sent
in
me the
what
link 2
world
times.
are you in Scotland? Because that's where I know Chloe is. So,
We are not. We're in London. We've just
London.
been to Hampton Court Palace and gone on a riverboat ride.
It was super fun. It was really fun.
Tell us a little bit more about what's at Hampton Court Palace.
Oh, okay. It's a Tudor palace. I'm going to stop for a second.
Okay.
So it's a Tudor palace, and most people associate it with King Henry VIII, but Queen Anne and lots of other royals have also lived there. So we had a great time. We got to see the part that's still Tudor and the part that sort of looks like Versailles now. What did you think, Chloe?
I loved it. Oh my! I knew nothing. Like, I'm not the history buff Kerry is. She knew everything, but it was amazing to learn so much, and it was crazy to think they were walking in those, like, down those streets, down those corridors, and that was really happening. Also, kind of tragic for the women. We do have it better these days. We do have it.
Yeah,
better
that was
these
tough.
days.
We saw, Anne Boleyn's apartments were going to be built there. They were in process, and then she didn't need them by the time they were ready. So,
Oops.
and Catherine Howard, the fifth wife, we saw the portrait gallery. They say is haunted by her ghost. So anyway, we're on the Thames right now.
Wow.
Just come off a boat ride, heading back to our nice gentleman tour guide. I sent you many photos and videos.
Yeah, I'm still deciding how I'm going to be
here.
able to
I know.
show those.
Here.
We all wish
I
you were
don't know
here,
if
but
you
that's why
are,
you get to
kind
do
of,
the
right
Can I turn the
International Backpack Show.
I wanted to turn the camera around, but it won't let me. So I have to,
Oh,
You're stuck with this.
yeah, I'm stuck with this. Well, I wanted to show you
All right.
like stuff, but so we're in Richmond right now. Is that Richmond? And we went on a boat and
Richmond.
had
That's
like a
in
whole
Virginia.
picnic whilst on. Not this Richmond is not in Virginia. So yeah, here, check this out.
Did you and Chloe go to the maze at Hampton Court? Is one of the questions.
Did you go to the maze? No. There's a flower festival happening. And the flower festival has taken over a bunch of places we'd otherwise be able to go.
Oh.
Gardens.
Yeah.
Those were gorgeous. So pretty.
The Privy Garden. We went to, what else? The kitchens.
Yeah, we
The
saw
chocolate kitchen.
The largest grapevine. So,
Oh yeah, the world's largest grapevine.
that was beautiful.
It sounds like a novelty thing. It just looks like a vine but bigger.
With lots of spider webs on it. Lots and lots of spider webs. Not good if you're scared of spiders.
But if you've seen the movie The Favorite, you'll recognize a lot of the sets. So that's a good one.
I did not see that movie.
Emma Stone.
Dan Gargone, who's in the audience, says, "Hello, Governor," because Britain. All right, listen.
I want to show
guys
you
get
this
on with
view.
it.
Hold on.
All right, show me the view. That looks like water to me.
That's the Thames.
That's the
Don't be a
Thames.
yank.
Oh, what's her name? Who was out there,
by the way,
in the low tide?
The mudlarker.
The mudlarker. Yeah,
Lara.
maybe you
Can't
should
remember the
lark
last
some
name.
mud today.
Yeah. So the tour guide thought Chloe sounded American.
Oh,
Isn't that funny?
wow! In what planet?
Scottish accent.
Yeah, right. You have to double down on the Scotch there. Okay, listen, I'm kicking you off the show.
Yeah.
Good. Have a good rest of your walk and enjoy. Thanks so much for dialing in. So good to see you remotely. Bye, guys. That's why they're not in my comments today. Cheerio. Well, there we go. That's their hobby, evidently, traveling. All right. So Mitch asked the question: when you're doing your photos, are you using more than one camera? Looks like you're wearing a video and holding a camera too. Yes. Good eyes. Good question. I am using the super tiny Insta360 Go 3S. It's like if you had a GoPro that you could break out just the camera part, because when I connect it together, it looks just like an action camera. But when I have it in my mode, I have this little guy here. I put it in a baseball hat, kind of in my forehead, like I have a third eye, and I shoot everything in a mode like that. And zero people, I thought for sure it was going to be embarrassing to walk out with a hat with a camera sitting on it. Zero people have asked me a question like, is that a camera on your hat? Well, except for my kid, but that doesn't count. And that asked the question, how do you display your sand collection? Like, what on the earth are you doing there? And Tamara says back, I have small bottles and a shelf. I write the name of the beach I have. I've got on green sand, black sand, and white sand. And now I need pink. I also love sea glass. Let's see. What else do we have? Becky wants to know, do you want to name drop anything from your collection, Troy? I also want to know. Yeah, Mitch. So with the Insta360 Go 3S, which is just under $400, which is a lot, but not a lot compared to like a big rig or something like that. It shoots in 4K. The negative to this is that when I'm downloading that 4K, it is a massive file. But I will say that what's kind of neat about it is that I can just kind of walk along with my camera and not think as much about the video and do my shooting so that something comes out of it. So I'll play just a tiny bit more of this to kind of walk you through what it looks like. I'll just show you just because I think it's kind of fun to see how it all comes together. So if I do it right. See you, Tim. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. So I'll walk you through just a little bit about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and what that's about and kind of why it's fun to talk a little bit about hobbies and things that you're following. Um, oh, Becky's asking, you're mounting that on your ball cap. Yeah, let me show you really quick. Thankfully, it's right down here beside me. I have an Appfire hat that I wear. I put the hat on. There's a spot right there. You see it? So then I just pull this bad boy out of the little mounting thing. It is magnetic as all get out. Bang, I look like this. So I think because I already have a camera in my hand, people are like focusing on the camera, not looking as much at the hat thing. There's a little red blinking light on it. So when I'm shooting the video, people are noticing that there's a red blinking light, but they're just not reacting or they're not making a sound like they care about it or whatever. So it's working great. The other thing I should say about the Go 360, I feel like it's an ad for this, the Insta360 Go 3S. The other thing I should say about it is it comes with a variety of mounting options now, which is you can, there's something you can hang off your dashboard. There's something that you can put, there's just like multiple ways that you can mount this thing. It can hang, I don't have it really handy. There's even like a thing you can throw around your neck and stick the magnet right through your shirt so you can wear it right on your chest. The problem when I do that is that I'm looking at people's waists, it looks like, in the camera, which is really awkward. So, yeah. And Becky says it kind of blends under the shadow, under the brim. Yeah, and I've got this like Santa Claus beard, so it's like totally catching a lot of other things. And that says, I love hearing the details of how you do the photo walks and then make them usable. So how much time for production? Now, this is fun because my very first time, it was awful. And then my second time, I'll tell you what happened. So I shoot with the little video doodah. I'm doing this because this is how you push record. I shoot with the video doodah. I go out and I take my photos. When I come back, I crack open my laptop. I do the video transfer first because 4K files are huge. And so I drag all the files into a folder on my desktop. I bring open iMovie and I delete whatever last project I was working on. I throw those files in there and start that process going. Then I have a USB to SD card reader. I take the SD card out of the camera, slot it in here, put it in, drag the photos over. I then do whatever light processing I need to do on the photos. I just started using Adobe Lightroom. I'm awful at it, but I just started using Adobe Lightroom. And so I get the photos going. So then in iMovie, I've got the video file going. I try to cut boring parts out because sometimes there's like huge swaths of time where I'm just kind of walking to an area where there might be a good set. I then, cut it to a regular size. And then every time I go to take a photo, well, let me show you again how that works when I go to take a photo. I'm going to zoom up a little bit on this. Okay, here's one. So I'm snapping the photo. I'm kind of getting my aim set up. I push the button down. You can see my finger hovering over the button. I hit it. Bang. Now, what I've done right here, did you hear the little photo sound? That is a MP3 file I made called Camera Shutter. And what I do is I just drag the copy of the photo onto the video clip, overlaying the video that's rolling for 3 seconds. So for 3 seconds, we look at this, and then I'm on to the next thing. The other thing that I'm adding into this process that I haven't explained yet is I use music from Epidemic Sound. So I pay for a subscription to something called Epidemic Sound, and I drop in lo-fi hip hop music, usually around 80 beats per minute, and I make a sound bed underneath the whole thing because then it's just kind of music moving along. It becomes a sort of soothing kind of experience. I got that from watching other YouTubers who make videos very similar to this. They call them POV photo walks. And one of the things is that I found is that I love watching them. Like I'll watch someone walk through Tokyo Shibuya station or something like this. I'm gonna walk you back one. This is somebody else's video. Oh, there it is. This guy here was in Taiwan, and he went to a cat village. Yes, a cat village. Let's put this on the stage. So this is Taiwan. It's a little village called Rufang. I'm probably ruining the pronunciation. But this village is basically the Hutong cat village, which is tons and tons and tons of cats. It's become sort of a refuge place in Taiwan for this. So this person's out. This guy has 332 subs, of which I am one. And he takes really cute cat photos and sometimes other things. What I like about his videos too, this one's pretty long, it's 35 minutes, but there's all kinds of information shared on it. So it's been really kind of fun getting into these street walks, these point of view street walks, because there's more to it than just, hey, look at this cool photo. So it's nice to look at photos. It's nice to look at a photo album. I've gotten back into printing photos, which is kind of fun. But I also have really enjoyed the experience of, like these photo walks, to go just see other parts of the world. I've been in London, I've been in Wales, I've been in, someone showed a really nice one from a bunch of various Pride festivals. So I got to see lots of different Pride parades and things like that. Becky points out that she's not really much into the editing, and also that too lazy to do videos except for work. With the editing, I'm trying to do the most minimal amount of editing I can do these days. I'm not looking to do a ton of editing because, well, besides maybe cropping, because I want the photo to just kind of work on its own. And also I'm lazy. So that's that. I think with a lot of hobbies, though, we do decide whether or not we want to really absorb ourselves into it, or if it's okay to just be a bit lazy about it. I mean, I'm not going to be Gary Winogrand about it. I'm not going to do tons and tons and tons of can you share the link to the cat video? Yeah, I'll send it to you in a text message. I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm not trying to become world famous for my photography. I could care less. I'm doing it to connect with people. I'm doing it to go outdoors. So all of those things are just a way to do that. With the editing, my ex-wife had a great phrase. I loved it so much. She said, "Editing is good manners." And what I like about that is that it just basically means that if I try to get you to see the thing that I want you to see, then that's a way to look at it. All right. If anyone else wants to contribute some of the hobbies that they're into, I think Troy maybe had to go. Otherwise, I would have loved to have seen some of the names that he had come up with for some of his famous things. What other hobbies are you working on? And then after that, we'll wrap up the show. We'll do person of the day and we'll get the heck out of here. And I'll shut this randomly running video I had behind me. But isn't that cool? Like, I hadn't even thought about the fact that my this is my standing desk behind me. I hadn't even thought about the fact that I could stand on up there uh, and shoot videos behind it when it's not my standing desk. Kerry says, we're riding back to the hotel, but glad we get to check in. Glad you and Chloe get to check in. How fun going out and meeting people at other parts of the world. How super fun is that? Super, super fun. So thank you for that. There's stories with so many. Now, Troy also has a YouTube channel, so you can always swing over. I know there's a lot more to it. Becky says, good to see you, Kerry. Mitch says, keep it up. Thank you. Take good care. Have a good meeting. Have a good weekend, everybody. In the U.S., we just celebrated 4th of July. My son, Harold, at the very last minute said, hey, Dad, you want to go out and catch the fireworks? And I was like, there's nothing I want less. Our town, where they shoot the fireworks, is off at this farm. This farm has one road in, one road out. It's awful because you go there, you see the fireworks. Everyone has to go 2 hours to try to get out of here. Like the whole town piles into one corner, and it's a very small town. This is one road though, so it's pathetic. So I said to him, here's what we'll do. This is a compromise. We went and found a completely different part of town with a parking lot where we could see 90-ish% of the fireworks. So we found our ultimate cheese spot for next year. Becky says, gardening's been wild. I thought I hated it, but then pandemic. So what are you gardening? Are you doing flowers or are you doing food? I'm curious to know. And thank you, Annette. Oh, you know what I could do? I could add a couple. Let me show you something. I wonder where I put them. Oh, I know where I put them. Dun, 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 dun. Can I do this all at once? Oh, limits are 20 megabytes for images. Well, how big are these images? I was going to show you something, people of Earth, but they're huge, evidently. Oh, no. Photo edits. Hang on. 16, 23. Oh, okay. Wow, these are huge. Okay, let me do this. Let me adjust the size on some of these. These are huge files. All right. Tools. Adjust size. Tools. Adjust size. All right. No, makes no sense. All right. So Becky says, mostly tomatoes and peppers at first. Now I'm doing herbs and flowers. It's so weird. That's who I am now. Dad says, are you growing treats for Bubby? Steve, lots of grass for Bubby. The camera mount is neat. I've seen them above the bill, but not below. It's probably the same, but I was just being clever. I don't know. I'm so rarely clever, so I don't know. Let me do this. Let me see if I can get these photos in. Yeah, it says I can. So, oh, come on, Brogan. Let me do one photo then. This is one photo I took this morning just walking around. Why do you suck? All right. I guess I'll have to do this some other time. It's okay. We'll get out of here. We'll do some things. We'll get out of here. By the way, Bubby is a pet steer, like a cow, for those of you who are wondering.
Oh, and here's our person of the day. Kaboom!
We got to give it to Becky. Becky hasn't come on, and she was our number one commenter for today. Becky, that entitles you to one free apple. You can walk down to the street to any other farm stand and just steal one, run away real fast, and chomp right into it. You don't even have to watch it because Kerry's not here. Like I said, just remember this show is sponsored by StreamYard. I'm not putting anything particular in the backpack. I will tell you one of the things that I also love about photography is my Gramps used to have a billion slides. He was a slideshow kind of person. He made all kinds of cool slide presentations. And there's one time I found his secret slide reel. Probably not what he wanted everyone to see. Let me tell you what I found. I mean, that's, you're not supposed to see that kind of a thing when you're my age. So